night strolling, far from home and horizon looking like a sunset dream. Midnight talking, water crashing, evening feeling like a postcard scene. 'Cause it's just us two, dancing with the moon, my arms wrapped around you. Moon is lighting, sea of diamonds, I can tell the difference to your eyes. Morning's coming, we're not rushing, lie with you until the end of time. Didn't think it'd go this fast. Goodbye to this house we thought would always last. And this is where Dad's garden grows. Summer haze, waiting place, and late night tiptoes. And I know the memories are with me, even when you move to a town that is new. Guess I tend to hold on too strong, but you're always home. You're always home to me. Up those gray stay wooden stairs, me and Jess, we pretend of time traveling, company around the table. See by windows where I learned piano, and I'm scared things change too quickly. The time tells your mom so loud in my heart, and I know I'm not alone. You're always home. You're always home to me. So we'll make room for something new. Though I'm not little anymore, I'll always need you. And I know the memories are with me, even when I've grown to a place of my own. Please remember, I love you forever. You're always home. You're always home to me.
I think too much. I wake up tired and terrified. Started feeling weak. You grind your teeth, can't hide your bloodshot eyes. Talking in your sleep. Guess we're on a losing streak. Though we're in your company, I feel better when you speak. Listen to the words that come from me. I can't stop. My weekend plans slow. Dagger to the heart. Just when it gets hard, you are lost in the climbing up the dark. Guess we're on a losing streak. Though we're in the company, I feel better when you speak. 'Cause you know the words to comfort me. Guess we're on a losing streak. Though we're in the company, I feel better when you speak. So come away with me, nobody has to know where we gonna go. I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me. To run away with me. Don't tell your friends, but let them know we're safe later on. Rose gold, sun on our skin, sleeping under stars when it's gone. I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me. 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 I call to the mountains sitting across the bay. Morning comes always steady than yesterday. I take the stillness as a sign to write a song about things we've done and the things still to come. Flowers in the plenty, coloring in the view. Red sunburns late Sunday afternoon. Talking for hours about the places we have gone, and things we've done, and the things still to come. 'Cause it's high time, high time, high time, high time. Old trees with orange leaves, they take me to a place. To be by your side, I would run all night and day. Tall pines and fall lines, I'm glad that we are home.